It is the Extra Yard here on the 5 Reasons Sports Network, brought to you by Prize Picks and BetterEdge.com. We got your action all over the place. We got your action. Unfortunately, Troy, my Miami Heat let me down. My Miami Hurricanes did win today. I don't think they covered, though. I didn't bet on the Hurricanes basketball game. They only beat Wake Forest, who they should have beaten easily. They only beat them by 2. It was too close down the stretch. I did not bet on the game, though, but I'm pretty sure they were favored by more than 2 points in that one. But I hope you're doing well.
How far do you think the Canes basketball team is going to go?
That's a great question, because on the one hand, really, really good team. Like they won the ACC regular season championship. Like they had a spectacular season, but
first time ever.
Second time ever. They won it in 2013. 2013. Okay. But the thing is, for like the past 3 weeks, the Canes basketball team, they're taking years off my life, Troy, because they don't know how to close games without giving me heart palpitations. Like they blew 2 weeks ago, they blew a 25-point lead against Florida State, who's not a good team. Last week, they kind of lucked out to beat Pittsburgh to secure the ACC championship. And then today they had a big lead, and then they almost choked that down the stretch. Like there's just something funky always happens to this team. And it hasn't been all season long. It's only been for maybe the past 3-4 weeks. It kind of rears its ugly head that this team doesn't know how to close out games. And so if it was like the way that they were consistently playing a month ago, I'd say they could be a Final Four team. But now they've got to exercise these demons of late games.
Sweet 16?
Well, they made the Elite Eight last year with a team that's, they got to the Elite Eight last year with a team that's not nearly as good on paper as this team. Like this team's way better. They were a 10 seed last year in the tournament. They got to the Elite Eight. So, they should be able to make a Final Four run. They've just got to learn how to close out games again.
Can you imagine the University of Miami basketball team playing in an NCAA final game?
Oh, my God.
Like you would see fans come out of the woodworks. It would be insane. And listen, I'm not sitting here saying I like the Canes or I like this team. Or I'm a Knicks fan, I'm a Met fan. But I like when the Marlins win. I like when the Heat win, because the energy that it infuses into the community. Going to work is a little bit more easier. Getting off work and going to have a couple beers or inviting friends over or going over to a friend's house. I mean, you can't beat that. And if your team is not in competition, if they're not in that big game, you can't do those things. So I hope I'm pulling for the Canes to get there.
People in South Florida, they love to jump on bandwagons, right? It's like
everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Not
everywhere.
South Florida. Listen,
that's true. That's true. But I'm saying, but you brought up the Marlins, right? And like a regular Tuesday at the ballpark, they can't draw flies.
They can't.
But when they made those playoff runs into the World Series, and everybody had Marlins flags in their cars. The traffic at the ballpark was like miles away. It was crazy.
Packed, and that's how it should be.
Yeah.
The knock on South Florida is as beautiful as it is. There's always something else to do.
Yeah.
If you live in Green Bay, you live in New York or Jersey, you live in Chicago, there are like 6 months where all you're doing is packing on the pounds. You're eating donuts, you're eating 3 donuts, you're packing on the pounds, you're hiding yourself. There's nowhere to go. You don't want to go out and trek in the snow and the cold weather. Here, we got to put on a light jacket and that'll keep us warm. So
you got to look good all year. Like I try to keep my supermodel physique all year long, Troy.
Yeah,
like,
I try to also, but I have not been doing a good job.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And hopefully
meet my buddy Roy. Roy.
Hey, Roy. You played, right, Roy?
Live now. You met him pre-show.
Yeah, I met Roy pre-show.
Am I on the air?
Yeah, you're on, Roy.
How's my hair?
Can you
about as good as my hair and Troy's hair.
Oh. What's up, man?
Hey, Roy. Hold on. Tell us a little bit about yourself, because you played, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, played a little bit.
No. You didn't play a little bit. Go ahead.
No, I got drafted in the first round out of USC. It was
Yes.
me, Marcus Allen, and Ronnie Lott, those cats.
Can you look in that square and make sure you in the camera?
Well, you got to move. You got to move him the other way.
There you go.
Oh, okay. There I am. But anyway, yeah, I played about 12 years. Got Shula called me in '82. Played about 3 years in Frisco, and with the likes of Rice and Jerry Rice and Steve Young, Joe Montana. Played 2 Super Bowls. I lost them both. Yeah, so got a lot of injuries, but got a lot of great experiences.
And what's going on at your house right now?
We're playing chess inside the house. It's pretty intense. Yeah, and we ain't messing around.
Because you football players, everything you guys do is intense and competitive. It's like it's like you're back on the practice field with Shula right now when you're playing chess.
Absolutely, like the trash talk that takes place at the chessboard is absolutely insane.
Yeah,
to listen to what everyone is saying to the other opponent
at the same time.
It's just crazy. And so, there's this perception that current or even former players may be out there goofing off or whatever. No.
Just got off the phone with Duper.
Roy has a beautiful house. Yeah. Duper will be coming over soon.
Yeah. Duper's with Willie Golf, Jim McMahon, and Dan Marino. They're all playing golf right now. They'll be over in a little bit.
Oh, that's
Paul
incredible.
Link, former Dolphin player, he's here as well. And all we do is we sit here and we compete against each other playing chess. Like,
that's incredible.
It's not like we could play basketball or tennis because we're all beaten up.
See, I didn't even realize you weren't at your house. So you're at Roy Foster's house playing chess.
I'm at Roy's house. I'm at Roy's house. And Roy is as he walks in, Roy is the essential quintuple bachelor. Like he has he has the bachelor pad. So there's no girlfriend around or no wife around. And it's just the guys that come over here and they could talk the way they want to talk. They don't have to stay in line. I'll turn. He got a beautiful pool outside.
Is the fridge full of beer?
Full of beer, liquor, everything is in there. It's ridiculous.
Oh man!
Every time we come over here, Roy is cooking food.
That's incredible.
Roy, can I bring anything? No, just come on over. And he's always cooking food, so we have a great time.
Cap for Life wants to know what's the longest chess game that you and Roy ever had.
Roy and I'm a fast player.
Okay.
So I don't play these long games. Well, no, I'm not speed, but Paul Langford, and then we have a friend by the name of Barry who's here. And to be honest with you, as many times as I've come here, I haven't seen Barry lose yet.
Whoa.
But Paul Langford lives in Naples, but he came over today, and they just played a game that had to last an hour and a half. I would walk inside. I go, that's still the same game?
Oh my God.
Yeah, still the same game. So you don't have to rush your opponent. We don't play against the clock. It's just about hanging out, talking smack, and having a good time.
That is tremendous, man. And we got it. And I want to get all you guys, Troy, Stradford. I know you're always around the team. Does Roy Foster, does he ever hang around the facility sometimes, get in there?
Roy, they all come around. Roy, Duper, Clayton when he's in town, guys who don't live here, they come to town. And I'll say it again, the beauty of being around these former players, former teammates is whoever I'm sitting next to watching either a practice or a game, they give me a perspective because there's no other. Well, Eddie Hill, former Dolphin running back, he's the only other former Dolphin running back that comes over and plays. But all of these guys play a different position, whether defensive back, offensive lineman, wide receiver. And so
you got a whole roster there.
They absolutely. But they have a different they see the game through a different lens than I see the game.
Yeah.
So, a play will take place and I'll sit there and I'll give my take or they'll give their take. And then a conversation starts because their take is totally different than my take. And
Wow.
that's the beauty of it.
I love that. That's like there was one game. It was the game against Buffalo this past season, the one in the snow, the second one at night. Yeah, I got to watch it with OJ McDuffie and a couple other guys because I was doing the post game with them. And like, first of all, OJ, he's like so intense while watching a game.
OJ's intense.
Yeah, like I felt like I just because I can get, but I'm internally intense, Troy. Like I don't like jump around and like pump my fist. I just my mind is like condensing when I'm watching.
Right.
Like I'm very internally condensed. And then OJ's like freaking out, and I'm like, I think I need to watch this by myself. I can't handle this. It's just too much. It's like sensory overload.
I gotta say, OJ is the most intensive, wound tight guy that I watched the game with. You know, I could watch games with anyone, and we laugh, we joke, we talk. OJ is like zeroed in on that thing. So,
oh man,
but you learn.
No, definitely. Yeah, because
let me introduce someone to you. I know he doesn't want to come on, but now I'm going to do it. Now that he's out here, Paul, come over here. This is Paul Langford, and when I got to
Paul, how are you?
When I got to the Miami Dolphins,
looking good, man.
He had already been here, but he lives in Naples, right?
No, I'm in Jacksonville.
In Jacksonville.
Yes,
you was coming over to Alligator Alley.
Right. I went to see my daughter in Tampa. And worked my way over this way.
All right. So Paul was a veteran when I got to the team at that point. So yeah.
That's
one of those DBs that I played against, and our defense wasn't that good back then.
What?
Oh. Now, Paul, be honest. What was it like going up against Troy in practice? Pretty easy, right?
We didn't really go up against each other.
I figured, but
we couldn't touch him, and they were trying to take care of him and everything, So
where'd you go to school, Paul?
Penn State.
Penn State. I did not know that.
Penn State guy.
Oh,
and all those names, they were my coaches.
So where'd you grow up?
Powerhouse.
In Long Island, New York.
And then you went to Penn State.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was it like when you were getting recruited by Joe Pa? Like because he's such a legend, watching him on TV over the year. I never got a chance to meet him, but like did he come to your living room for a visit? What was that like?
Well, let me tell you, great man, Joe. I got out of Joe what I don't think anybody else would have got going anywhere else. I told Joe, Joe said, we want you at our school. Run track, play football, do either or. I want you at our school. Track was my first love. I said, okay, Joe, I'm going to run track, not play football. I signed track scholarship, ran track first year, didn't go to a game, heard the roar from the stadium, but I was in my dorm.
Wow.
Year two.
That's crazy.
I said, okay, I think I can do both. Year two, signed football scholarship, ran track, played football.
That's incredible.
Year three was 1980. I'm trying to make the Olympic team. I said, I don't think I can play football in the fall and make the Olympic team. Signed track scholarship, ran track, didn't go to a game, wasn't on a team, came back to open arms year four, played football, signed football scholarship, ran track, played football. He said, hey, you know what? You only played 2 years. Why don't you maintain your eligibility, come back for a third year football, fifth year. I had the best fifth year in the history of Penn State because I only had 3 classes. And basically, I decided to stay eligible. And then I did an internship with the American Cancer Society, but played football for my 5th year there, which was third year football, but never did he go back on his word. Never made it difficult for me. I never played spring ball. I didn't know what spring ball was. I was on the track.
Wow.
So Joe,
wow.
It would have been different if I would have gone anywhere else. I almost went to Alabama. Bear Bryant, I could hear him saying, well, we didn't do this, we didn't do that. You can't. I ran track for 4 years, played football years 2, 4, and 5, and he never made it difficult for me to do that.
That's incredible.
I don't think I would have got that anywhere else.
I never heard that story.
What a story. Wow.
I never heard it.
And I love it. So track was your first love. Like, did you ever did you ever go back and like revisit track after football, or once you got to that 5th year, it was full speed ahead?
Yeah, it was full speed ahead football.
Dolphins drafted you where?
3rd round, right after.
What number?
3rd, Roy Duper Langford.
What a draft. Jeez.
Right.
Wow.
So yeah,
All three of them would be here later on. Well, Duke was the only one missing.
yeah. I think he was out
Incredible.
playing with Dan. He was out
Yeah,
playing
he's
golf.
out playing with Dan.
Yeah.
Wow.
But back to paternal story. I mean, a guy that wanted to develop young men, you know, and he said, "I'd rather lose with gentlemen than win with a bunch of bums."
Ha. That's
So,
awesome.
Really, really, I just could imagine so many high school seniors told so stories, and things change. Year 1, year 2, you didn't do this, we didn't win. Joe didn't make it difficult for me to say no. I'm not doing it year
That's
1,
amazing.
and then
That's cool.
and then play 2, not coming back 3,
That's
4, and 5.
That's pretty impressive.
You don't get that anywhere else.
Pretty impressive.
Wow.
Right, I'm out.
Yeah. Wow. And just one more thing I got to ask you. Paul Langford is on with us as well, with me and Troy Stradford. So, you know, once you got to the Dolphins, talk to me your take on those legendary Don Shula practices, because I get tired just thinking about them, and they can't do those 2 a days, 3 a days, 10 a days anymore like they used to do.
We couldn't take a knee.
Couldn't take a knee.
Couldn't take a knee. The Blackwood brothers were the first ones that I knew of that took a knee during practice. We could only drink water when he said water breaks.
Yes.
You know, so it was tough. It was tough, but we were young. Being young helps. Being young and helps you to be able to just take off and run it.
One thing I will add that I learned playing with the Dolphins. Every year I played there, the collection of the guys, not only were we prepared, credit to Don Shula.
Right.
We were in shape because we worked our asses off.
Yeah.
But the number one thing, I don't know if you agree or not, I would put our football IQ up against any other team in the National Football League.
Right.
Smart as
he
hell.
reviewed everything. You know, this could happen, so let's prepare for that. There were no surprises on Sunday. We'd gone over it. You know, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, we went over it. So,
Well, it showed because those years watching the Dolphins, time of my life, and I was spoiled. I don't want to disrespect the Penn State guy and the Boston College guy, but coming up in the '80s, I was spoiled being a Hurricanes fan and a Dolphins fan, right? Because I got to watch the Canes winning national titles. I got to watch Dan Marino and all of you guys, putting up amazing numbers and getting so close so many times. It was a great football childhood for me, that's for sure.
Cool, man.
Oh,
very good.
man.
All right,
Paul, thank you so much.
Barry.
no.
You did not.
So Barry's still undefeated, Troy?
Still undefeated.
Troy was telling me Barry never loses.
Whenever
Very
I
good.
come over here, Barry has not lost a
Barry's
chess
good.
game.
Barry's good.
Wow.
All right, I'm out.
Unbelievable. It's
Thanks,
so great
Paul.
meeting Paul.
Appreciate
Oh, my God.
You've never
Oh,
lost a game. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Well, you got to teach, I at one point, I think when I was in 3rd or 4th grade, I learned how to play chess. Like, obviously not very well. I learned how to play, didn't stick with it. I don't even remember how to play chess. I'm going to need, at some point, the Troy Stradford tutorial. I want to be so good, I want to be beating Barry by the time I'm done training.
I'm still trying to beat Barry. I think I played against him 3 times, and I haven't come close. And, I really look at my game. If I could I'm still trying to teach myself patience.
Yeah.
Because you got to have patience. Because I believe that I should be a chess master.
Right.
Like I lost my first game tonight already to Roy. But I believe I should be a chess master. Like I should be playing much better than what I play. But I enjoy playing the game.
Do you ever do you watch outside of your friends out there? Like, do you ever do you read about moves? Do you study the game in your off times?
That's what I don't do. Like there are channels you can go on YouTube and watch all kinds of opening moves and this and that. And I'm not that guy that's going to sit down and study it like that. I want to get it myself just from playing games and learning from just seeing different moves that are being presented to me. So
that is fantastic.
I play chess all day. Like I play online. So I play.
Oh, cool.
I play against people from Ukraine, from Italy, from all over the world.
Are you able to play? Can you play for money, or are you not able to do that? I don't know.
No one has ever brought up money. It's just like if you love chess,
Yeah.
you accept every challenge and you sit
Wow.
there and you play. And you set the time, whether you want to play a fast game, speed chess, like you mentioned, or if you want to play 2 days, 3 days, 5 days. Yeah. I'm playing this ambassador right now that lives in Washington, that works in Washington, D.C. And I'm sitting there like,
Whoa.
I'm like, really?
From what country, or can you not say?
No. Well, all I know is he is an ambassador. He can give me a lot of information. And he works in Washington, D.C. And he's
Wow.
involved in all of that stuff. And I'm like, okay, I got to kick your ass because,
Because I'm just thinking about, like, you could solve a lot of the world's problems. Because, like, let's say you're playing online chess with, like, the Chinese ambassador or, like, the Russian ambassador. I feel like you could negotiate while you're playing. Like, you can negotiate terms of
world peace, man. World
exactly.
peace. Absolutely.
Oh man, that is hilarious. And so, man, when talking to some of you guys here, Roy Foster, Paul Langford, Troy Stradford with me, it makes me think about those glory days when the Dolphins were always right there, like they're always knocking on the door, contending team. How far do you think these Dolphins are away from being a contender? Because obviously, positions like we need to find ourselves a right tackle. We need to probably get more depth and shore up the secondary, shore up linebacker. You got to get our running backs re-signed and maybe add another running back to that mix. Like, what do you look at as the big priority areas, Troy?
Donald, I look at the Dolphins team right now, and I see a lot of talent on that football team. And it's not necessarily like you have to have the best talent at every position to become that Super Bowl champion. The number one thing that you have to have outside of talent, you got to stay healthy. If you stay healthy, you got guys who, okay, everyone's going to potentially miss a game or two.
Yeah.
But if you have on week 17, the first week of the playoffs, second week of the playoffs, close to the full squad that you had week 1, now you're on to something. You just got to stay healthy, because if you can stay healthy, that means that the team, the people upstairs, the Greers of the world, the head coach of the world, right? They put together this puzzle and they slot people in. All right, we may be a little bit weak here, but we're so strong here, it will compensate for that weakness over here. And as soon as you have a major injury on the team, that's when you become depleted and you just can't cover up. You can't. Now that guy that was coming off the bench and giving you, 5 productive plays a game, now you're asking him to play 40 plays in a game, and he's not equipped to play 40 games in the season. So you got to be healthy, number one. So I look at the Miami Dolphins, and yes, you can look at the secondary, you can look at the offensive lineman, you can look at the quarterback position, and they can upgrade in those areas all over the place. But if they end the season close to where they started the season, health-wise, now you're talking about maybe we could go on a run.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And we also have to look at other things going on in the AFC and within the AFC East.
I told you, I think Aaron Rodgers might go to the Jets.
That's let's say so. Report came out this morning that the Jets are feeling optimistic. Like they're feeling out because they've discussed some terms with Green Bay. They had a meeting with Aaron to kind of gauge his interest. So the Jets are liking where they're standing. Nothing is done though, Troy. So obviously I'm hoping that this becomes a huge swing and a miss for the Jets. And the fact that this is already getting hyped up so much about how, because they sent their entire brass, they sent the owner, the GM, the head coach, everybody out to meet with Aaron. You can't miss. Like they cannot miss. Their entire fan base knows that this happened. Everybody up in the Meadowlands are so hyped up about it. It'll be a catastrophe if they basically promise their fans Aaron Rodgers and they end up with Jimmy Garoppolo. Like they can't let that happen. Like they have to close this deal now. And then you have to wonder, because for me, I know that, Aaron had a bit of a down year last year at 39 or 38 last year, whatever it was. But, it was a weird situation for him in Green Bay. I think he still has a couple of elite years left in the tank. That's yet to be seen, but I think he still has like 2 more elite years left in the tank. And then you've got a Jets team with a top 5 defense and a lot of young weapons on offense. I know that the Jets feel like they are a quarterback away, and if they get Aaron Rodgers, we're going to find out.
I truly hope that the Jets get Aaron Rodgers. I think it will make the AFC East more competitive, more exciting.
That's true.
News to talk about. And me personally, like when you play the team, it's game week, and you're playing against a team that doesn't have an excellent record, or you're just talking to your buddies and you go, yeah, we're better than them. You just don't prepare. Maybe I'm guilty of this. The level of preparation was not as intense for when you were going up against, Tom Brady and the New England Patriots back in the day. That week, you are focused. Like everybody is focused.
Yeah.
And I just think that when you play the best, when you play against the best, you play your best. So I'd rather the Miami Dolphins be faced with, like, no one gave the Miami Dolphins a chance when they played against the Buffalo Bills in the last playoff game. That was a hell of a playoff game, right?
It was.
Third string quarterback. Miami Dolphins were competitive in that game. They had an opportunity to win that game.
Yeah,
when
they sure did.
Sitting there and you are going over your game plan, and this is how we could attack them, this is how we could beat them. When you're playing against someone, especially a team that's ranked better or rated better than you are, you zone in a little bit more, and I think it makes for better football. So I hope the Jets get Aaron Rodgers. I hope the Buffalo Bills are good again. That's what I hope, and I hope the Miami Dolphins are on point. No weeks off, no pansies on the schedule. Let's go and let's play.
The Dolphins are on their way back into the positive, like, cap space. There, they were over the cap, and listen, it's not really anything, because this time of year, this is restructuring time, this is roster move time. Obviously, the Dolphins are going to get back under the cap, and one of the steps into getting there, well, a couple steps this week. I think we talked about this the last time we were on together.
Okay, yes, we did. We did.
About Byron Jones.
Yes,
and now the Dolphins have restructured Bradley Chubb's deal. They're probably spreading out future years and converting his base salary into a signing bonus is usually the way that this gets done. And that's going to save the Dolphins $14.66 million in cap space. So, they're going to be under the cap. They're going to continue getting farther under the cap because they've got to obviously sign their draft picks. They don't have that many of them, but they have to sign their draft picks coming up in April. And they also have to make some free agent additions.
Donno, I want you to remember this. I said it before on the show. I said it the other day. And whenever you're doing radio, because you do a lot of radio, always remember this. When they start talking about, oh, we can't afford this player, or we can't afford that player, or no way we could fit him in the cap. Just no way we could do that. Always remember, there are people that are paid big, big, big money upstairs. And it's their job to figure out how to make the money work. Whether we got to restructure 3 guys' contract who are currently on the team, we have to be able to figure out a way to do that. And teams do that every single year. So I don't even worry about the money situation.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I didn't want to waste too much breath on this again today, because it's just absurd at this point, all these Brady rumors. But Scott Zolak, a former Patriots quarterback and a Patriots color commentator, he's resurrecting the rumors again. He said that Brady coming out of retirement and going to Miami is absolutely in play, he said. And he said, oh, don't believe the whole kitten tweet where Brady's like, oh, I got to feed my daughter's 2-month-old adopted kitten. But it's like, I'm not going to wait. Yeah.
He refused retirement last year because of Gisele Bündchen.
Yeah.
So he's gonna go retire because of a kitty cat this year? Come on. Come on.
And
Giselle
cats are
Bundchen,
very independent animals too. Yeah.
Listen, I'm not knocking cats, all right? But Giselle, kitty cat.
Yeah, I would choose Giselle
If the
over.
Dolphins get in front of him and say the right things, what he wants, because I truly believe if they get into serious talks, there will be a sliver, I don't know how big, of ownership with the Miami Dolphins.
Right.
I believe that. And you're someone, Tom Brady, phenomenal career, the greatest on paper, greatest in action, more Super Bowl rings than anyone. He got this big fat contract to do broadcasting once he steps away. To have a piece of ownership of you know how hard that is?
Oh yeah.
You know how hard it is to have partial ownership or become an owner of a.
Well, you say that, but do you remember when Stephen Ross took over and like every celebrity in Miami had like 1%?
I do remember that.
Remember that?
But you know how far that goes?
I understand.
You know?
I understand.
I used to see Serena and Venus at the game.
Yeah.
Like, it goes so far away.
J-Lo.
I mean, you could go anywhere. Yeah, I'm part owner of the Miami Dolphins. Like what?
Oh man, if I could buy just 0.00001%, I would take it, and then I would like make business cards that say like part owner of the Miami Dolphins. I would be all in
with the percentage. 0.3.
Yeah. I would milk it. I would be showing everybody my business card. I'd be asking people, do you have any suggestions on roster transactions?
Absolutely.
I'd be all over it,
man. That's where it starts.
Oh, I love it. Hey, I want to remind you guys, we are brought to you by the awesome folks at Prize Picks. I've had a great night. Well, good and bad night last night. I did get a Jimmy Butler over last night on Prize Picks. So you sign up. It's so easy. Prize Picks, by the way, fully legal in the state of Florida and in most states in this great country of ours. You create your account, takes just a couple minutes, prizepicks.com or the Prize Picks mobile app. And very important, when you make your first deposit, make sure when you sign up, you use our code 5, F-I-V-E, because they're going to double your first deposit up to $100. You deposit $100, they give you $100 free. Deposit $80, they give you $80 free. Whatever it is, they're going to double your first deposit up to $100. And you simply select, it's game night. Like I was looking at the NBA slate last night. You select 2, 3, 4, 5 players, predict if they're going to go over or under their stat projections. And if you get all your predictions right, you win real money. And you can go cross sport, Troy. Like you can have some NBA players, some college basketball players, NHL players, European soccer players. You can have them all in the same selection. It really is a great way to have fun while you're watching the games, make some money. Prize Picks mobile app or prizepicks.com with our code 5. Spell it out, F-I-V-E. We're also brought to you by betteredge.com. Use our special URL, betteredge.com, B-E-T-T-O-R, edge.com/5 reasons, and they're going to give you a free gift, $20 just for signing up. betteredge.com, you get the action without going up against some evil, ominous sports book, right? Better Edge, they make their money through advertisers on the website. You're playing other people. You can select the lines you want, and you're playing against other people. It's a social platform. There's no hidden fees, no VIG. You're not paying a sports book. So try it out, betteredge.com/5 reasons. Troy, it sounds like it's getting kind of busy there. So we'll wrap up in a couple minutes. I got to ask you, has number 13 shown up yet?
Not yet. It's hard to get Dan out, though.
Yeah, I bet.
It's hard to get him out. So
is he good at chess, though? Just tell me that.
I don't know if he could play chess, to be honest.
Ooh, okay.
So I may have one up on him.
So maybe Dan and I can learn together, because I don't remember how to play chess. If he doesn't know, we'll take lessons from you together.
I promise you, the next time I see him, I will say, Dan, can you play? Like, I know you're a great golfer. You and that more. Like, y'all kick everybody's ass playing golf. But can you play chess? Yeah, let's go there. And let me tell you, like you were just talking about Prize Picks. there's a number of guys in this house right now that plays prize pick.
They're into it. I love it.
I'm not gonna put anyone's business out there.
I love it.
We got some big time gamblers in here.
Oh, I love it. Wow. Amicus says he plays 100 games of chess a day.
Amicus. We got to hook up. Like I play on Chess for Friends. Log on. Look me up. My name, Chess for Friends.
Interesting. I'm not exactly. Our guy Anthony wrote in, Troy, when we have questions about the quarterback, can you say that the 2020 draft with Tua was 100% a success? I don't know exactly what he means, but I mean, listen, the first round of that 2020 draft was kind of a horror show, right? I mean, Tua's been pretty good. He's been very good when healthy, but Austin Jackson pick was a disaster. Noah Igbenogany pick was an unmitigating disaster in that same first round.
Listen, when it comes to yearly drafts, the teams who become good are those who hit on more than they miss on.
Yeah.
Every team is going to miss on draft picks. And I'm not in that business, but I'm like, how do you miss? Like, you had all of this time to like dig into this guy's background, sit down with him, talk with him, see him in all different kinds of positions. I remember the Miami Dolphins had, I can't remember the kid's name. He was a first-round draft pick. He was a defensive end.
Deion Jordan. Or Charles Harris?
No.
One of those two.
I think it was Deion Jordan.
Deion Jordan.
They selected Deion Jordan, and I'm excited and everything because I was doing radio at the time. And then I went out, and in one practice, I said, what the fuck? Excuse me. I'm like, how did you pick him in the first round? And look at him. Like, what did you study?
Yeah.
Up to this decision here? Like, I don't get that. And I don't get it, Donald. And teams just have to hit on more picks than they miss on because every team is going to hit some and they're going to miss some. Now, you're more successful if you hit on the higher draft picks because, I mean, law of averages, that guy that was picked higher is a little bit better, more talented, but that's not always the case. So it's just one of those crapshoots there, but you got to hit on more than you miss on.
And by the way, our guy Amicus, he dropped his handle there if you want to play him on the chess. What is it, Chess with Friends or
Roy,
there.
Can you hand me my phone right there? I'm gonna take a picture of it and I'll tell him I'll send him an invite.
I'm gonna smile for the picture.
Amicus, it's on, my friend.
Oh man, it is on. Troy, always a pleasure working with you, my friend. And are you going to get, like, how does this tournament work? You said you lost earlier. Are you going to be able to get back in, or are you done for the night?
We have 2 boards going. So, whoever loses, they know they get their butt up and someone else sits down and play. And then whenever you're ready to leave, you just leave. And some guys are here till, I don't know, what's the latest?
The losers are sitting outside.
I love it.
He's right. Losers are outside right now.
Yeah. Loser leaves town match. That's like what they used to do in pro wrestling.
You can't even look them in the eye.
Yep.
Well, I want to say a huge thanks not only to Troy, also to Roy and to Paul for hopping on and saying hello to us as well. And thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. Keep in mind, if you're watching us on 5 Reasons Sports YouTube, you can also get the audio version of this on the 3 Yards Per Carry podcast feed. Alf, Simon, and Chris are nice enough to share their audio feed with us. So make sure you subscribe to the channel there, and make sure you subscribe to 5 Reasons Sports on YouTube. For Troy Stradford, I am Alex Donno. Make sure you guys support prizepicks.com and betteredge.com. And we will talk to you next time on another extra yard on the 5 Reasons Sports Network. See ya.
Everyone